This is Out Loud and Loud. Brian, I have to tell you what I pulled on my Trader Joe's haul.
As long as you pulled out.
I pulled out my credit card and I ended up with a tub of dark chocolate peanut butter cups, which are almost gone, and I feel fat, gluttonous, weird.
Tis the season.
You know what I mean, though?
Tis,
Do you know?
tis the season. I know. I made chocolate chip
can
cookies
you
today.
relate?
I made chocolate chip cookies today for the kids, and they have had none of them. I have had all of them.
I was going to ask if they liked them.
Well, we had guests over, so we were making it for them too. And I have a soft spot for chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, soft chocolate chip cookies are synonymous with comfort and happiness and childhood. I mean, how could you not?
Although, quick one, John, I need you to judge this person that came over to my house. To be nameless, warm chocolate chip cookies, heaven. This person has to put it in the fridge because he doesn't like them warm. Sin.
Well, see, if we're going to talk about a deadly sin today, therein lies the sin. You do not refrigerate a freshly warmed, out of the oven, freshly baked, rather, chocolate chip cookie.
That's the part you get off to.
Yeah. Like the guy in American Pie wasn't putting his D in a cold apple pie like it was on the
No.
counter, at least room temp.
That's like fucking a dead person.
Room temp is more like fucking a dead person.
Well, it
Or,
depends on how
I
long
don't
they've
know.
been dead.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. At what stage of rigor mortis are we talking, Brian?
This is such a good tangent.
Such a good tangent. Because gluttony will kill you.
Because gluttony will kill you. And we've circled back to today's episode, our next deadly sin, gluttony.
Brian, it's serious gluttony. Do you
It
know
is.
do you know officially like what it is? I think that like we should just start there. Don't you think?
Yeah, sure. I agree.
Because I think a lot of people, I'm going to speak for myself as I always do, or I try to. I always thought gluttony was around eating too much, but really gluttony is about, or the real sin around gluttony is the lack of discipline, right? Or letting desire rule you, not the quantity itself. So I was already like messed up there.
Yes, exactly. Because like even today's example with my chocolate chip cookies, I was completely full. I didn't need to eat it. I just couldn't control myself. Like I didn't even know why I was eating it.
Because they're delicious and you're a human being.
I know, but if you're full, why are you putting more in? That's what he said.
Or you asked, are you all the way in? And he said, that's all I got, baby. And you're like,
and you're
well,
like, all right, well then I'll have some chocolate chip cookies after.
I was going to say, now you know why you're eating chocolate chip cookies. There is a void to fill.
If I'm able to walk after this, I'm eating cookies.
But no, that's a great question, right? Like, why do we overeat? Like, what's the psychological link? Like, is it a symptom? Is it just out of boredom? Like, what is it? What do you think it is?
I think it's just lack of self-control on my part.
Fair enough. Why even have
Right?
to? Yeah, I mean,
I think it's all circumstantial. So I was eating chocolate chip cookies because the kids finally went down for a nap. Adam was sleeping, and I was just on the couch by myself with Piper, the dog, and we were just there, and it was comforting. And so I was just relaxed, and I was like, why the fuck not would I not eat these chocolate chip cookies? It's making me happy. Even though I'm not full, even though I am full, I'm just enjoying the moment. But that was gluttonous of me for sure.
but I don't think you should be so hard on yourself. I mean, I also wonder, I didn't get this out of any research, but real time thought coming through. I also wonder, how often do you have to be gluttonous for it to actually be gluttony, right? Like you had chocolate chip cookies today. Like what if you had chocolate chip cookies like is Cookie Monster gluttonous?
I bought 12 packs of cookies to bake every day, but I'm just kidding. That's a problem. No, I agree. There's limitations and control, which also brings me to my other example, though, of gluttony, because I was researching a little bit on gluttony, and I was like trying to understand, like to your point, it's not overeating, but it's almost like, I don't know, hot dog eating contest.
Are we still talking about food?
Yeah, or last night's party.
or last night? Yeah.
Yeah, or brunch.
Yeah.
No, but have you seen these people eating like 130 hot dogs or dipping them in water just to throw them down the hatch? Again, hot dogs, food. But like, isn't it like that is like, to me, a definition of gluttony is disgusting.
It's disgusting. Also, I think of it brings to mind, like, some of these sandwich eating contests or these steak eating contests that you see on, like,
I haven't seen that.
diners, Dive-In and Drives, Guy
Oh, where they bring,
Fieri's
like, the
deal.
big one to your table and you have, like, 30 minutes to finish it? That
Yeah,
gives
like,
me
what's going on?
stress.
Well, what's interesting about that is, that's really gluttonous because gluttony is also around, like, eating too soon or, too expensively. I also realize gluttony could be considered too eagerly or greedily, too disdainly. So it's like it's almost like if you just thought about almost like in contrast what the opposite was, would be like lack of discipline, right? What was I
Uh,
gonna there was a word that I was gonna say for it, and it totally just but you understand it's just too much of all of it, not just the food.
yeah, it's true. Because I also, like,
Yeah.
there's, like, those when there's, like, a viral dessert or something that people just have to get, and they'll spend so much money just to buy it.
Like
What was the
The Dubai chocolate
Yes, that's
bar?
exactly what I was just thinking. Like,
Yeah,
people are spending a lot there. That's like the $100 treat that everyone's it's like a almost like a trap because I tried 2 different versions of it. It's okay.
I can make it. It's really easy.
You could probably make $100 in a bar.
I mean, I'm in the wrong business. You know, but I dropped earlier, and this is another good point, right? Like the psychological link behind gluttony. Like, if you were to tie it to something like a Dubai bar where it's like eating too expensively, there's almost like this tie to like either being wanting to be included in a trend or looking a specific way to assuage your ego that you could afford a $20 or $40 chocolate bar. All of that feels gluttonous to me.
Mm. I think a lot of it comes down to self-control for me when I think about gluttony,
It is. It
and I
is.
have none.
No, I abstain from nothing. I mean, you wanna see the opposite of gluttony, watch me at Lent. I'm like, "What Lent?"
I got home at 9 p.m. this past week from a work thing. I had Wendy's.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have Wendy's on a Tuesday at 9 p.m.
There's also no reason to feel bad about having
I
Wendy's
didn't
on a
feel
Tuesday.
bad. I just said I
Yeah.
had no self-control.
I mean, it almost feels like it's I don't know, in today's society, we need these, like, vices, right? But in real gluttony, do you know the TikTok girl? I don't know her name off the top of my head because you just maybe reminded me of her, but she eats all the fast food on camera.
Mm.
Like, that is gluttonous, and it's almost sad to watch and reminds me that of all the 7 deadly sins, that gluttony is also the only one that has a medically recognized health crisis behind it, which is, like, obesity, diabetes, etcetera.
Well, there's this one girl on TikTok, which is probably a very different girl that you're thinking of. She's very, very big, and she's unpacking her Panera, and she has, like, a really disgusting sandwich, a bag of chips, and she's like, "And I got healthy, and I ordered an apple," and she opens her bag, she goes, "They didn't give me the apple, they gave me 2 bags of chips." Oh, well.
Oops.
And I was just like,
Pro
"America."
Probably the same person, if I'm being honest. I mean, but then we have it, like, instilled as a virtue, like, during or as a virtue in our country. I think it's almost like this capitalism sense. Like, we have Thanksgiving, a holiday completely surrounded by food and sort of being gluttonous. Buffets exist in our
Oh, we love a
country.
buffet, we keep talking about them on our pod.
Trick or treating. It's like, "Hello, just
Oh, that's
give
the other
me."
thing is all the fucking candy I still have in my house after Halloween, and you should see what I do when the kids go to sleep.
What do you do when the kids go to sleep?
Oh, well, besides eating the candy no, I'm just kidding. The candy. It's all about the candy.
You're like, "I've got a great, like, bathing suit made out of candy bar wrappers. You wanna see it?" You're like, "Where did all those come from? What are you doing?" Gluttony.
It's my Reese's Couture. But you know what has changed the game, though, is all these shots, all these weight loss shots, which I am a huge fan of.
I'm not opposed. I kind of like I'm getting a little tired of managing my weight. I'd like to maybe give it a go.
You know, it was fun we went to a birthday party yesterday, and there was a cake that was, like, John. It was, like, if you measured the width of it, it was, like, a 1.5 feet big for literally 15 kids. Anyways, very delicious cake, but I said now that they're starting to potentially lower pricing on these kinda drugs, they could start to have this cake and then next to it, have, like, some shots. Grab a shot, stick yourself, have some cake, you know? Like, gluttony.
Well, it's like gluttony without anybody knowing, right? This is like gluttony without all of the eating disorders attached.
Yeah, I'm in.
So, do you mind if we back up a little bit and, like, sort of
Ooh, back
attack
up into what? I haven't done the
mm,
proper maintenance.
into the G spot, i.e. Gluttony.
Perfect. Back me into it.
No, but, like, the parts where I was, like, eating too soon, da, 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 eating too expensively, like, I actually disagree with eating too expensively being gluttonous.
I don't agree with that either.
I mean, honestly, I mean, you and I have had some really incredible meals together. I've had some and you've had some solo. I'm talking more specifically around, like, Michelin or chef tasting menu kind of experiences, where I find that to be more like food theater. Like, that becomes more of an
Yeah.
entertainment experience. I don't necessarily tie that in with gluttony.
I don't tie it in with gluttony. I tie it in with luxury because it does tell a story. It's an experience. It's more than just the food. But I do agree in that some of those expensive meals, you have so many courses that it's so filling that it's uncomfortable. And then there goes back to the self control, and you're paying for it. So the fact you're paying for it, you eat all of it, and you walk out of those restaurants feeling just like so uncomfortable. So I can see why people would think it. But fuck that, I'm Cuban. If I put all that money into it, I'm eating everything they bring to that table, you know?
Yeah, I mean, eating too expensive or too luxuriously as snobbery or gluttony is not, in my opinion, in the same category. And I don't think that caring is too much. Caring about the quality of food is a
Yeah,
sin. I don't think that that's true.
I know. What else is gluttony? Like what let's reverse back a little bit and think about gluttony for our parents back in the day. Like
Oh,
what was
that's a different
gluttony from
direction.
yeah, like the 90s gluttony or like the 80s gluttony because if you think about it, slightly different than how we think about it today, I would think.
Do you mean in terms of like what kinds of foods they were being gluttonous over? Or
Just the experience overall.
give me what's on your mind? I'm trying to think about what that would look like.
When I think about, like, the experience of us as kids, like, we grew up Cuban, so we always had huge meals, family gatherings. It was just obnoxiously carbs and pastries and, but that was I wouldn't necessarily call it gluttony, but I would call it just the way that we showed love, but maybe that could also be gluttony, and 2 things can be true.
Well, what's really interesting that you bring that up was, you know how interested I am about the human psyche and why we do the things we do. Food and food security like brings us a sense of safety, and I wonder if that's why it's so centralized around cultures. Food being the dinner table, sort of being the gathering place.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now I think that if you have a toxic ass family and you don't want to be there and you don't have a lot to say, you might start overeating because like you're eating your feelings,
Is
right?
that
And
why you
then
were overweight for so long, John?
I hate all of you.
It showed.
But not anymore. Look at me now. I love you all.
Yeah.
See?
Be careful with that statement.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. It had nothing to like, but it did have something to do with me being unhappy in my life, not about my family. But like, that's just obviously for funny. I love my family very much.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
yeah, mhm, mhm,
mhm.
mhm. But like, can we apply? So, like, this is why I guess I was asking because I'm wondering, like, can we apply it to other things for the sake of this conversation other than food? Like, because in your example, I would say many people of like immigration culture in the United States specifically gather with like people around food because it just makes them feel like home. I don't think that's gluttony.
No,
Safety.
I agree. So then what's another example besides food that you're thinking about that represents
Yeah.
gluttony?
Yeah,
Dig
so
into it.
well, here, I'm gonna open the box. What's in the box? Funny enough, that's from a movie called The Seven Deadly Sins, and it was a head in the box, spoiler alert. I mean, it's a great film, you should watch it.
How warm
Uh,
was the head? Room
uh,
temperature?
about
Back to the
3
cookies?
I don't remember if it was days or hours, but probably less than the cookies, more than what our family would put on the
I
table.
don't hate.
I don't hate. But like, so for example, I was actually thinking about us and like sort of like consuming digital gluttony. So I'm trying to think what the opposite would have been for our parents, right?
Porn
On VHS
on VHS or magazine.
or magazine. Yeah, that could be one. I think our
That's
parents
a good one.
but I think our parents were gluttons for fun, to be honest. I think they
Mm,
were always looking for a fun time.
like swinging?
Boy, I never saw
Ooh.
maybe that's why they kept the pineapples upside down. I never knew why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why your mom woke up in my parents' house sometimes and your mom yeah. No, just kidding. No, I agree. I think, yeah, fun, but that's very general. Everyone wants to have fun, John. fun? Like, what kind of fun?
Mm,
I don't know. I see what where you're going at, but I think the way I always go back to gluttony is because you think about like back in the medieval days, the king would eat a lot and he was so fat, and that was gluttonous, right? Like it was no self-control because he was in power and he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. And that was like royalty gluttony. And then you fast forward and I feel like gluttony's just gotten dirty, right? Like you think about like Homer Simpson and you think about like any of those kinds of people now where gluttony is kind of like fat slob-esque, right? Like when it's core, right? I see the other examples you're giving, but at the end of the day, I think it's just evolved into just to being like a sloppy thing.
yeah, I could see that, like, just something that's more like, it goes into another one that I wanna talk to you about on another episode, but slothiness, laziness, sort of
Yes.
this idea of just, worthlessness, right? But I also, like, blame like, food science for some of this and food accessibility. Really interesting to talk about during a time when our country's facing some, like, food scarcity insecurities with SNAP benefits and things
What do you
like that.
mean? What's happening in the world?
Oh, I don't know, government's just ripping food rights away from 8 million people. No big deal, but, no, I'm just kidding.
But you're
Huge
right though,
deal.
really quick though, because you're right about the digital stuff. Right? Like, if you think about it, if you get back to your original point, like, how does
Yeah.
gluttony think through, like, modern day? Yes, I still think it centers around food, but you think about, like, digital media and stuff, and people are constantly trying to fight for, like, "Oh, look at my massive milkshake," or, "I'm gonna eat this 10-patty burger," and, like, it turns into, like, a social thing, but at its core, it's still very gluttonous. But now, from a digital standpoint, it gets you views, it gets you clicks, it gets you engagements. So I see your point, though. Now it's resonating with me a little bit. Just saying,
Well, I find it interesting as it unpacks itself that we're trying to think about examples of our parents being gluttonous, but was it gluttony that brought us to where we are today, where there's just so much to overconsume, be it digital media, be it
all of it.
all of it? Like, was it actually gluttony and greed that brought us here? Right? I think
Mm.
that's interesting to think
Well,
about.
greed we've already talked about, and yes,
We
for
did.
sure, I agree with that. I agreed with that.
I saw. So greedy.
But no, I think gluttony, I don't know, it's not my favorite deadly sin out of all of them. If I have to do a deadly sin, I don't know if gluttony is the one I'm gonna, like, double down on.
No, absolutely not, because if that were the case, I would have been kicked out of many vacations, many
Buffet,
buffets, and, my own refrigerator. Sometimes I wonder if it judges me.
and last night's circuit party with all the leather sheets everywhere.
The leather sheets were,
Gluttonous.
gluttonous. Gluttonous for sure.
Guzzling gluttony all
I
night.
Brian, I might just be living out all of your fantasies over here, so we'll never
Apparently.
know. Yeah, we'll never
Listen, you're
know.
getting your protein fix, and that can still be gluttonous.
You could be a glutton for protein. I really do think so. But you should be a glutton for out loud and laughing, in my opinion. Don't you agree, Brian?
I agree. Everyone should be gluttonous for this pod because why not?
I mean, it's a safe thing to consume at nauseum. We love
Hit,
you guys.
hit subscribe.
Hits the what?
Hit subscribe button, everyone.
Hit subscribe. Bye.
Hit it.
This was Out Loud and Laughing. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.